Alrighty, Shalom. Before I start off, let the first and foremost give all honor, glory, and praise unto our Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakudash. Double honors to our apostles and others of Great Millstone, who taught us the truth and who were well and are the true leaders of the nation of Israel, which consists of so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, as well as the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad. Brother Shamaria back with another quick lesson. Alright, and just another update on one of the last major prophecies that we've been looking for in these end times, man. Alright, just the MOTB. Alright, the mark of the beast. And I was watching the brother out here in the NYC camp. On his YouTube handle was GMS Watchman. Alright, he was going into the MOTB being introduced to the prison system. Alright, so that's how you know that this word is faithful and true, as it tells you in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Just grab that. This is 2nd Ezra 15:1. It says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy." All right, and the prophets of Yahweh Shemel Shai, being the men that the Lord had risen up and gave the true understanding of the scriptures to in these last days. All right, we're prophesying unto you the words of prophecy. All right, the prophesy means to say before. See? And we've been telling you that eventually the RFID microchip, the implantable microchip, would be mandated in order for you to function within the society. You're going to have that chip implanted in you, because that's going to be your digital ID, your digital wallet, and so forth. All right, we've been telling you from the elder apostles on down for years that eventually the chip, Esau would mandate the chip. So 2nd Ezra 15:1, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people." We're the Lord's people, you Israelites, you so-called blacks and Latinos and Native Americans, as well as you speckled bird Israelite foreigners that have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai." Right, he put the words of prophecy in his men's mouth. All right, the mouths of his holy prophets. Luke 1:70 tells you that as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which had been since the world began. So the prophets' incarnation in, all right, and out even unto this day, had the Lord risen up to prophesy unto his people. All right. So, despite what a lot of people might think, concerning the scriptures, they might know the history, all right, of the prophets coming on the scene during the Neo-Assyrian Babylonian Empire, all right, during the Medo-Persian Empire, during the time of the Greeks, and during the time of the Romans, the Roman Empire. You had the apostles, all right, the various disciples of Yahweh Shai. Our people may know that history, but they may not understand that these are still biblical times. This is the time of the end, where the so-called white man Esau, which is the nation of Edom, the Edomites, they will be in the position of power in these end times. All right, this being the last leg of their rulership. which is Rome revitalized through America, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and the European Union. This is the beast coming back. So, verse 2, it says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Right, everything that pertains to this time that was written aforetime, all right, is going to happen exactly as it was written to play out. And we're seeing it. No, it's incremental steps to a full-on mandate of the chip, all right? But you're seeing these incremental steps be taken to that point. They're introducing it to the prison system. We're going to get Revelation 13 and 16 where it talks about, those that are bond. Second Ezra 15 and 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. And the things that were written aforetime were preserved unto this time, so that we, as the prophets coming back, would be able to have the understanding to break these things down plainly. Let's get that Habakkuk. This is the book of Habakkuk 2 and 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the prophets of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, are set for watchmen. All right? Again, the prophets of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, are set for watchmen to the children of Israel, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. You see? Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. The vision concerning the MOTB, as John the Revelator saw it on the Isle of Patmos, in visions. All right? He saw the implantable microchip be mandate. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. So, let's go here. Let's grab that article. This is being introduced to the prison system. And we read, it said, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. Though this is something that might be proposed and hasn't been mandated in the correctional system yet, it will be. All right, because that's what's written. That's what's prophesied to happen. And we're here to declare these things unto you. So this is from corrections1.com, how transdermal microchips could revolutionize prison security. All right, and the more and more we get close to this thing being mandate, you're going to see them throw out that convenience and security, as to why this technology, right, this implantable microchip would be feasible, for people to accept. Which is a guise, because they want this to control the masses of people. So they're gonna both coerce and fool a lot of people to take this. It says invisible tracking and real-time alerts could prevent escapes and save lives inside of correctional facilities. It says, I'm just get to the point. I don't want to make this too long, but it says key takeaways. Transdermal microchips can prevent prison escapes in real time. It says microchip technology provides immediate alerts when inmates enter unauthorized areas, enabling staff to intervene before an escape occurs. Biometric monitoring improves inmate medical response. That's going to be another, reason why this is, pushed. All right. So I remember, the brother Aharon Amath had broke down biometrics, which is the measurement of life, and how they're going to do that, how they're going to track, people's biometrics is through that chip. Which, it breaks down to 6 too, because, you have all those talks about a carbon footprint. The atomic mass of carbon is 6. The atomic number, I mean. All right. And a foot is a unit of measurement, breaks down to 6. So and the print, right? The impression, that is the implant, the chip. So when you hear talks of a carbon footprint, and then being able to track your every move, your carbon emissions, and so on and so forth, they mean that they're going to do so. They're going to be able to do so by the RFID microchip. So it says biometric monitoring improves inmate medical response. Real-time health tracking can detect medical emergencies such as cardiac events or overdoses before symptoms are visible, reducing in-custody deaths and liability. Automated inmate tracking reduces human error in corrections. By replacing manual logs with digital monitoring, facilities can eliminate errors in head counts, security checks, and medical documentation. Security and privacy must be balanced in prison technology upgrades. Implementing transdermal microchips requires strict data encryption, limited access, and clear policies to protect inmate privacy and comply with legal standards. Which, the brother, again, YouTube handle, Salak, I forget his name, GMS Watchman had, explained that this will be another hurdle that they have to jump over, privacy concerns. As correctional facilities must modernize outdated tracking systems, manual head counts and legacy tools are no longer sufficient. A multi-stakeholder approach is essential to implement smart, ethical surveillance solutions in corrections. Pretty much what this whole system that's being reared up is, you could think of it as a, I forget the name of it. Salakia. No, I lost my train of thought. Panopticon, there you go. You can think of this whole system in conjunction with the chip that they're rearing up to be a digital prison. A panopticon was a prison structure which was like cylindrical, and then being up top would be able to see everything within. All right, and that's pretty much what they're trying to set up with this technology. Then being able to track everything. Your biometrics, your carbon emissions, and so on and so forth. Even being able to control people, man. All right, what do you think the BCI is about? The brain-computer interface, which that's a part of this prophecy too. So yeah, you know, to simplify the point, how this thing is already in talks to be introduced to the correctional system. So now we can go, and soon it will be. Soon it will be, because this has been years in planning. With these elites, they've been planning this. They throwing a lot of subliminals out there in the media, you know, film and television series, what have you. This has been years in planning. This is what they salivate over, just the idea of being able to control people through their technology. So you got all these other Israelite camps out there still pushing that the chip is, still like the MOTB is an embargo sin and everything besides what it truly is, right? Everything besides what the elders and apostles on down have been saying it truly is and could prove it, all right? It's plain for us to see. But if you can't see it at this point, you either had to took a bag. You would have either had to took a bag, or the Lord just ain't dealing with you. He didn't want you to see that. But it's very likely that, the leadership of these other camps are sellouts, man. It's either that or they truly can't see it. So I'm going to grab this. It's Isaiah 56:10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark. To be dumb means you're mute. All right. When it comes to the MOTB and Jacob's trouble and major prophecies, man, they're giving you people bullshit. They're giving you people runaround. They're leaving you confused. So when these things begin to happen, guess what? These people ain't going to expect it. They're not going to be prepared for it because these other camps, they're not sounding the alarm. They're not giving you the proper warning of what's to come. His watchmen are blind. They're all ignorant. They're all dumb dogs that cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yeah, they sleep. They in the deep sleep, man. Yeah, it says, yeah, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. Yeah, they only out there for their own personal gain. The status of being highly esteemed, As scriptures say, woe unto you when all men should speak well of you. Roughly paraphrase. Yeah, you got a lot of people doing this out there teaching for their own gain. They ain't out there teaching in truth and sincerity, the right way. Rightly dividing the word of truth. They're giving our people smooth things, prophesying unto them smooth things. Giving them a world-friendly doctrine. They contorting the doctrine, man. They twisting shit up. Not shit, but they twisting the word up, man. So these people are going to get destroyed. All right, but guess what? Those that are following them, what's going to happen to them? They're going to be confused. They're going to be left without answers. They're going to be destroyed right behind them. It says, yeah, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink. And tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. So they're clearly not in the right spirit. All right? But they're about that spirit of mirth, man, and folly. Just look around, you know? And what happened during the Sakari Passover that time? That should show you. You know? Look at all the gimmicks that Bishop Nate and IUIC are out there doing. That should show you. You know? They're trying to sell people the truth. You know? They're making merchandise of this thing. So let's just get to the point. This is Revelation 13:16. And he calls it all that he is dealing with Esau, the so-called white man, right? Which his true nationality is that of the nation of Esau, Edom. He says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Again, that he is dealing with the so-called white man, beginning with the top elite banking families of the nation of Edom. All right, Job 9:24, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. All right. So they're getting ready to push this MOTB worldwide. Revelation 13:16, and calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. What should come to mind is those that, are in prison. To receive a mark, that word for mark in the Greek is charagma, which goes into that chip, that implantable microchip. All right, when you exhaust the word, you have in the Greek the root words harax, which is dealing with the boring instrument. Pretty much the idea of the syringe that places the chip underneath your skin. All right, and the latter Greek root word graphos, which is dealing with the records. All right, biometrics, your digital wallet, digital ID. That stuff is going to be stored on the chip. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Every status within this society, all right, is going to be expected to take this technology in their right hand or in the forehead. So when you deal with the Greek, in the forehead is metapon, which deals with the brain-computer interface. It's where you have Neuralink, right, and all these other BCIs out there. But they're gonna try to make this the norm, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So without that chip, you're not going to be able to buy, sell, partake in commerce, and really function within the society. Here's wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now we always deal with chi psi stigma in the Greek. It's what that numerical value breaks down into. All right, and you have the last letter, stigma, which says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of the master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. So in essence, the chip is pretty much a brand. all right, a brand into the NWO, their enterprise, all right? It says, and there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods, all right? When you deal with, during the whole Hellenization period, and you would have Ptolemy. Real quick, let me just check which Ptolemy this was. Bear with me a second. So like it was Ptolemy the Fourth. All right, Ptolemy the Fourth introduced the ivy leaf symbol of Dionysus into official registrations. He styled himself Neos Dionysos, the new Dionysus, more than any other Ptolemaic ruler. All right, now when you deal with the Greek Empire, when you deal with that history, the whole Hellenization period, all right, two of Alexander's generals and their descendants after them, they dealt very harshly with our people, all right? You had Ptolemy, or Ptolemaeus, all right, which scattered our people into Alexandria, Egypt, okay? No, put our people in their garrisons, in their ranks, within their armies. And you would have Seleucus, okay? Now out of the Seleucid line came Antiochus IV, Epiphanes, all right? You could read all about what he had done to our people in the book of Maccabees, the first book of Maccabees, all right? And Daniel, the 8th chapter, speaks of him as well. Okay? But out of the Ptolemaic dynasty, all right, you had Ptolemy the Fourth. It says, his administration introduced Dionysian imagery, especially the ivy leaf and the state iconography, including registration marks. Yeah, they were branding people with the ivy leaf symbol of Dionysus. Including registration marks, tax documents, and coinage. The ivy leaf became a visual shorthand connected the king with the god, reinforcing his religious political identity. And that, in essence, is what Esau is trying to do with the chip. He's trying to be as the Most High God on the earth with his technology. By putting this technology inside of people, it serves as a brand, but as a method of control. Okay? Just another update on the MOTB and prophecy. In closing, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakudash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, taught us His truth and rule well, and peace and blessings to the elect. To the next, I say Shalom.